One thumb. Another thumb. Sit real still. Be real quiet. One thumb. Another thumb. Be real quiet. Okay. This is called Spongebob Ovalpants, and it goes like this. It's hard to be quiet. I want to talk about unicorns and rock and roll and the rock that I saw roll. I want to tell you about my goldfish named Gold the Fish and the pink gum that I found on a yellow school bus and how my dad says fur truck instead of fire truck, and it makes me think what it would look like if a fire truck was covered in fur. And can I tell you about the time that I ate 13 cookies for lunch? And have I told you about my dog yet? His name is Pancake. He is golden and sweet and fluffy, but we aren't allowed to pour syrup all over him. Pancake has 4 legs and 2 eyes and 1 tail that he chases in circles and sometimes in ovals, but never in squares. And sometimes we watch SpongeBob SquarePants, who has square pants. He's not SpongeBob Circle Pants or SpongeBob Oval Pants. It's SpongeBob SquarePants. And my teacher said that our brains are like sponges, and I wonder if they have square pants like Bob. Maybe our brains have zippers and pockets and loops for a belt. I don't know. I've never been able to see my brain before, and I don't know about my brain being like a sponge. And our teachers say that our brains soak up information, but my dad, he says that I'm all over the place. Maybe my brain is more like a basketball bouncing from thought to thought, from cartoon to candy to Legos to Egos to Harry Potter to baby otters. I can be in and out of conversations, and before I know it, this finger becomes a magnet, stretching towards the sky, passing my hips and shoulders, stopping just below my eye. And before I know it, my finger is in my nose like it's trying to squeeze my sponge of a brain. But I can't get to my brain through my nose, and I get left with this gooey golden prize that sits on the tip of my finger like a man standing on the top of a mountain. Boop. But I've been trying to stop picking my nose because it's gross. It's gross. You're welcome, teachers. It is gross. It's gross. I think I'll just stick to picking brains rather than boogers, asking questions like, can you touch your nose with your tongue? Do you know that there is a beetle called the dung beetle? And that dang dung beetle eats dung. And how come I have 2 eyes but only see one thing? And where do unicorns live? And whose idea was it to save dessert for last? And how come the elf on a shelf is on a shelf and not a dog? If I was an elf, I'd much rather be an elf on a dog, not an elf on a shelf. Shells don't even bark or play fetch at the park. And what's the deal with Pokemon and Paw Patrol? Because I don't really know much about either, but they both start with P, just like Pancake. And in the alphabet, P comes before Q, and quiet starts with Q, and it's hard to be quiet.